how can she build a nation? So it starts with the family.
Well, if you talk of employment, unemployment in Nigeria is one of the indicators of socio-economic problems that we're having in the country. Let me just say it from 1960 to date.
National Discourse, weekdays on NCTV.
Hello, good morning and welcome to National Discourse this beautiful day. I am not alone in the studio. I am with Barrister Tolu. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Nigerians, we are not ignorant of what is happening around us. We are talking about the Benue killings. Today, we are looking at FG's approach to ending the killings by Fulani herdsmen. Nigerians have said a lot, as citizens. Everybody has given what they think as an opinion to ending the clash or the clashes. Now the FG has come up through the Minister of Agriculture to bringing up a solution they think is workable to ending the clashes between Fulani herdsmen and the farmers. We'll go for a short break, and when we get back, we'll go straight to analyzing what we have. But before then, you have a number on the screen. You can give us your contribution. You can send it through our WhatsApp number rolling on the screen. We'll get your opinion because it's much needed. And of course, I still remain your host, Uche Uduma. Let's go for a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome to National Discourse. Fuel scarcity has been a problem in Nigeria from time immemorial.
Current affairs.
We have to fix our refineries.
Politics. It's interactive.
You can imagine if states, the federal government and state government, say, okay, all the vehicles we're going to use all should come from Innocent or any other local manufacturer of automobiles in Nigeria.
If a woman cannot build the family or her family, how can she build a nation? So it starts with the family.
Well, if you talk of employment, unemployment in Nigeria is one of the indicators of socio-economic problems that we're having in the country. Let me just say it from 1960 to date.
National Discourse, weekdays on NCTV.
All right, so welcome back from this break. On the 8th of January, which is a Monday, the Minister of Agriculture, Chief Audu came up to say the federal government is set to build colonies, for Fulani herdsmen, and to them is a long-lasting solution to Fulani herdsmen / farmers clash. And that is what we are discussing today. Is this a right step in the right direction, sir?
With due respect to the Minister of Agriculture, this step is unwarranted, is very wrong, and it is an encouragement to the Fulani herdsmen to continue to kill innocent Nigerians. The business of Fulani herdsmen is a private business. It's a private business, and for God's sake, I don't know why the federal government will intervene. In a private business. What do they want to do for them? How do you get the colonies? Will you just go to any of the states and grab the people's land and give it as a dash to the Fulani? When they say it's a colony, I view from the perspective of the fact that they want Fulani to take over Nigeria. This is condemnable, and I hope the federal government will listen to Nigerians and stop this issue of pampering the Fulanis, because they are not the owners of this nation. This Nigeria belongs to everybody, and whoever wants to do ranching business should try and invest in his own business, spending his own money. Federal government should, it's not the business of federal government on how a Fulani man raises his cattle. But because of the fact that they believe they can do anything and get away with it, that is why all these things have been going on. How can the federal government now say that tomato farmers, they want to buy land for tomato farmers? This is unfair on the sensibility of Nigerians. This is my personal opinion. Okay, sir.
While you're trying to give your opinion, you mentioned whether they're going to force states to give land. According to the Minister of Agriculture, Chief Audu, he said about 16 states have offered to give 5 hectares of land each of them. I don't think they were actually forced. Now, these 16 states, and they refuse to mention the states for now, they're not mentioned. These 16 states coming up to say, okay, I'm giving you 5 hectares of land, from my state for you to achieve the colony building. For them is an end to the clash. I don't know.
I don't think that will end. I don't see how that one will end the clash. I'm not saying that the state cannot hand over land to the federal government, but federal government is not the business of federal government to build a colony. When you say colony, it gives an impression that you want to build a colony so that the Fulani people with their cattle can colonize the place. That is the impression that I get from all these things. Because how can federal government, in its right sense, be saying we want to build colony for the herdsmen? The herdsmen has been rampaging in all the states. They have been killing people. You have not even solved the problem. None of them has been arrested. You have not brought anybody to book. You are saying that you want to solve the problem. How can you solve the problem? You let the people to go and sleep with this sense of injustice. How can you just come to somebody's land, take over the land, destroy the land, eat all the crops? Meanwhile, this federal government is saying all of us should go back to farm. We should go and be producing in terms of agriculture. But when you have a farm and the Fulani people come with their cattle and destroy the whole farm, what do you get out of it? And after destroying the farm, they will go back to the community and kill people. And federal government is not doing anything. It is not once, it is not twice, it has become a recurring decimal all over the country. It is unfair. This federal government should do something. The federal government has abdicated their responsibility to provide security for the people. Where do the Fulani people get AK-47 from? The Fulani people that we used to know always go about with stick. But the Fulani of these days go about with sophisticated weapons. It's unfair. And look at what happened in Benue State of recent. The vigilante people who are trying to protect the community were arrested in a jiffy, in a matter of days. The Fulani that have been killing people for a very long time, you cannot arrest a single one of them. This is unfair. This is imbalance. And we have to condemn it.
Okay, sir. I want to take you back a little. Sometime last year, April 2016 to be precise, when there was killings in Jos by the same Fulani herdsmen, when the federal government came out with ranching, not colonies now, then they said they wanted to build ranches for these people to dwell on. It became a debate, and at the end of it, it didn't work out. Now they are coming back to say, okay, instead of condemning people that this is what you have done, Nigerians have seen it as an act of pampering. Now, there are so many groups that have sprung up, or that actually sprung up throughout last year. You're looking at the IPO, you're looking at Niger Delta militants and everything. We saw how the federal government were able to tackle this issue within a twinkling of an eye. So the question right now is Fulani herdsmen above the government?
That is the question we kept on asking. I listened to the secretary of Miyetti Allah this morning, the Miyetti Allah pastoral Fulanis. He was justifying the killing in Benue State. Unfortunately, he was very arrogant in his presentation in this presidential during the program, justifying the killing in a way, saying that they cannot just subject themselves to a law that was validly passed by a constitutional authority in Benue State. House of Assembly passed a law, it was assented to by the governor in accordance with the constitution, and a group of people will now say we are not going to abide with the law, and they threatened that they were coming back to visit violence on the people, only for them to carry out their threat. And unfortunately, the Benue State governor is not even doing enough. Why must you go to the president all the time, cap in hand, begging? You are supposed to be a governor to provide security for your people. Look at what Fayose is doing in Ekiti. Fayose just yesterday called the hunters in Ekiti. They had meetings, community policing. That is what we is required in Benue State. It's not when this thing happened, the Benue State governor will be begging the federal government, who is from all education, are not willing to do anything. They are not willing to do anything because the incessant attack of Fulani since this government came into power has been more than 20 incidents in Taraba State, in Jos, in Ondo State, in Nasarawa State, in Benue State. All of them are going scot-free. Are they saying that the security architecture of this country is no longer known to the SSS, to the police, to the immigration, and to the Nigerian army? But because somebody is not giving orders somewhere, somebody is pampering some people somewhere, because somebody is is the owner of the cattle, and they are giving it to the boys, they now go ahead to arm the boys, you understand, to guide the cattle. In the process, they started using the arms to kill people. This is not fair. I believe the federal government should do something. They should stop talking about manipulating the brain of Nigerians, using the word ranches, using the word colony. Why must you build ranches? How many cattle do they even have in Nigeria? In Holland, The number of cattle is more than the number of the population. But you cannot have, you don't have a situation where you leave your cattle to go and eat on somebody's farm. It's very unfair. Federal government should do something about it. First of all, they should prosecute the leadership of Emeyati Allah, just as advocated by the Benue State Governor. Because I believe from the way the National Secretary spoke this morning, they have something. They know something about what is happening. And he was even trying to cause division between the governor of Benue State and Nasarawa State. The governor of Benue State said the Fulani herdsmen are camping somewhere in Nasarawa State. Based on the security report available to him, the governor of Nasarawa State did not even allow that issue to be investigated. He came on national television and denied it within 24 hours. So how long shall we continue to do this? We should, all of us, to divest ourselves of sentiment and face the reality if we want to continue to live as one in this country that we call Nigeria. Because, for example, now, if somebody has the business between cattle rearing and fowl rearing, I'm talking of poultry now, it's just the same. It's the same because cattle move from one place to another. Also, fowl, they move from one place to another. Now, because you said, because I want to do a poultry farm now, the federal government supposed to give land for me to do a poultry farm. Okay. People are doing their business. All these cows are sold to Nigerians, not free of charge. If you want to buy a cow, you know how much it costs, from 120,000 naira and above. And now, what is the business of federal government? If not because they are interested, they are complicit. This is theory of conspiracy between federal government and the Fulani cattle rearers.
Yes, sir. While you were talking, you made mention of community policing as a way out, giving an instance of what Fayoshe is doing in Ekiti State. Now, 2 days ago, some vigilante group from Benue State were arrested, and they were labeled criminals. Now, this is still community policing set up by Benue State government. You said something. You said they couldn't get the Fulani herdsmen, but they were able to trap the community police set up by Benue State government. How do you see this? Is there any undertone to this?
Honestly, this is what I'm talking about. You let people helpless. A group of people will just enter a community in the night, slaughter people, killing people, marshal them as if they are yam. I don't know whether you saw the pictures.
Yes, sir.
The pictures are just not their eyesore. That's what I will call it.
Okay.
Only for the people to now say, let us organize ourselves, and for the first time, save ourselves from these people. The people that were arrested, I watched it on national television. It's very unfortunate that two laws are operating within the same country. Fulani herdsmen are going about with AK-47, AK-49. The people that were arrested, they call their own gun AK-45. I'm not a military man. I don't know the difference. But what I know is that the people that were arrested were in uniform.
I saw it.
Were in uniform, which means they are organized set of people to provide vigilante and security for their people. But within this, yes, you can imagine. Okay. Within this, they were able to track those people. There was no allegation that they killed anybody. They were just there to secure the people of Benue State. And unfortunately, I don't know what the governor, because one of them mentioned that the governor of Benue State was responsible for the arm. Mr. Abubakar signed the
that is the
arm
question.
for them.
The question
so
I want to
now
ask.
I don't know why the Benue State governor has not come out. To defend the people.
That's the question I was about asking you.
If you are the chief security officer in Benue State and you organize security for your people, and the federal government is now saying that they are carrying illegal weapon, it means what they are carrying, they are not ordinarily illegal, even though we know that firearm is is in the realm of a federal law, yes, under the exclusive legislative list.
Yes, sir.
But in this kind of situation, where there is almost total breakdown of law in Benue State, caused by people who has an agenda, probably to wipe out the whole of Benue State and make it cow colony, because that is what I can deduce from what they are trying to say. So the thing is, the Benue State governor should come out and defend his people, give them protection. Let the federal government know that this security outfit is a shadow of necessity, because the army has not been able to do anything, police has not been able to do anything. Even you can imagine, before any investigation was conducted, the police came out to say it was a communal clash, only for him to apologize for making that statement yesterday. What is the haste in rushing to conclusion when you have not investigated anything to say what the killing in Benue is not by Fulani herdsmen, is communal clash, only for you to find out 24 hours after that what the people were saying is correct, and you now came back with an apology to the people.
Okay,
what
sir.
is the haste?
Okay, sir. Going back to FG's approach, apart from building colonies, we can remember that Mr. President, I think 3 days ago, woke up and ordered the Inspector General of Police, Idris, to move down to Benue State. And then the question now is, there was an attack on the 1st of January in the same Benue State. And then 3 days later, there was another attack on the same land. The difference between the 1st and the 3rd or 4th of January, was it not so long that the federal government should have welded in to prevent further attacks?
That is what you are saying. That is exactly the point that I'm trying to make. That on the part of the federal government, they are complacent. We saw what they did in Southeast when IPOD was everywhere. They sent army to the place. They said Python dance. Igweke in Igbo language. They said Python dance. Now, no, IPOB has not killed a single person in the whole of Southeast. The only people that were killed were IPOB during protests, during encounter with the police and the army. But in Benue State, you see a group of people killing people to protect the life of cow. They value the life of cow more than the life of a human being. That is the meaning. And now, what I expect the federal government to have done is to declare Miyati Allah as a terrorist group, just like they declared the IPOB as a terrorist group. IPOB is just an idea that, people are propagating an idea. We want to be on our own. We want to secede from Nigeria. It is their fundamental right to self-determination. We are not trying to justify that. But what IPOB did is not as heinous as what the Fulani herdsmen are doing. And they have an organization that is national in nature. Miyati Allah is everywhere. Is everywhere. The federal government is hereby called upon to proscribe Miyati Allah immediately and prosecute the leaders. I was surprised to see even the National Secretary of National Television on channels this morning. This is a man that has, whose arrest has been called for by the Benue State governor. But he's still going around gallivanting, going about with the police or delay. You understand? So I don't know what is happening in Nigeria. Federal government should take up its own responsibility and allow us to live together as one. In a situation where you now make law and the two laws are operating, you understand, to guide the same set of people is very unfair. Why would you declare IPOB a terrorist organization and now you are robbing Fulani herdsmen at the back to say that I want to create colony for them? What kind of colony? The word colony propagate means that there is an hegemony, maybe to take over Nigeria. Because when you create colony in all the states or the federation, you call it Fulani colony everywhere. There is tendency that they will expand and overpower everybody, just like the jihad.
Okay, now in the bid of creating colony, do you see the return of Usman Dan Fodio in all of this?
That is what I'm saying. I just mentioned jihad now. This was how the jihad started in 1909 during Usman Dan Fodio. They started with creation of colony, moving from one place to another. In the process, they took over everywhere. And if you know the way Fulani people are operating, you will know that they have an agenda. And unfortunately, federal government is not doing anything. If care is not taken, if colonies are created in all the states of the federation, I'm afraid one day, maybe in the next 50 years, it may not be during our own generation, Fulani will take over Nigeria. And that is why I urge the Minister of Agriculture to banish the thought immediately, to stop saying that they want to create colony. If anybody wants ranches, you can just approach anybody to buy land and create your ranches. What is the business of federal government? When you say you want to create colony, it means the colony, you are creating a town. You put a school there, you put borehole, you put light, you build houses. and they will now bring the cows. In the process, they will be expanding gradually. And before you know it, they will take over the community.
Yes, according to Chief Audobe, his own definition of colony is just to plant some grasses at a particular place or space of a land. Like he said, some states have already given 5 hectares of land, about 16 states. Now, in the 5 hectares of land, they just build houses for the herdsmen, and then they plant grasses, that the cows will feed on, and then they probably dig boreholes for them, just in order not to allow the cattle to move around. That is his own definition of colonies.
Well, that is Shifadu Ogbe's definition of colony. But when you say colony, English definition of colony is an enclave that has its own law, that has a prescribed authority. That is the meaning of a colony. And that's why we call the British people that colonial Nigeria colonial masters. Because they conquered Nigeria and made it a colony.
Yes, sir.
You can only make a place a colony when you have conquered the place. That is the meaning of colony. So if they are creating colony for Fulani, for example, in a place like Ondo State, it means they have conquered Ondo State, and that's why they are putting colony. And when they put colony, somebody will have to head the colony. Who is going to head the colony? So please, people should mind their language in this country, especially our big men who are highly placed. They should mind the way they approach this issue. When you say you want to create colony, is sending a kind of a message to the people that they should get prepared, because Fulani people are coming to take over their lands. I've just said it. Cattle rearing is just a branch of agriculture. It's just like when you are rearing a pig.
Yes, sir.
Or you are doing poultry farming. That is this. There's no difference between the three that I've just said.
So it shouldn't be made.
It shouldn't be
a public business.
A public business. It's a private business.
National concern.
For example, now, if I decide to invest in cow, maybe I buy a male and a female cow, and now give it to a herdsman. In the next 2 years, it will become like 5 or 6. That is how the business will be expanding. So now what will not be my business to go to government to say, now I have 10 cows, give me a colony. In my own private business,
now
it doesn't make any sense to me.
Going back to the umbrella, covering the Fulani herdsmen, we're talking about the Miati Allah. They came up to say 2 days ago that the government of Benue State should just reverse the anti-grazing law that is signed.
Imagine that.
And then the question is, what right do they have to say such things?
That is the question.
And they are still going scot-free.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? How can an organization be telling a whole state to reverse a law? I listened to the secretary this morning when he was canvassing that they should reverse a law that was properly passed by the House of Assembly, representative of the people. There was a public hearing during the consideration of the bill leading to the passage of that law. After the passage, the governor signed the law. They still gave a space of about 1 year before implementation. You threaten that if this law is implemented, you are going to let the heaven loose. Now it's like a proverbial wish that cried yesterday and the child dies today. So who is the killer of the child? It is very obvious. And even the so-called colony, the Fulani people, the way they are talking, they are not even going to, assuming it is even possible to create the colony, they will not stay inside the colony. Because according to the Miati Allah secretary, he said they are nomads. They move from one place to another, and nobody can stop them from moving from one place to another.
The purpose of the colony is to restrict them to a particular place.
That is what I'm saying. They cannot be restricted to a particular place. That is what the Miati Allah secretary is saying.
Then we are having contrary views.
That they are keeping the Fulani culture that is it has come from ages, moving from one place to another. That they are nomads. So I don't think it is fair. It is not fair.
Welcome to National Discourse. Fuel scarcity has been a problem in Nigeria from time immemorial.
Current affairs.
We have to fix our refineries.
Politics. It's interactive.
You can imagine if states, the federal government and state government, say, okay, all the vehicles we're going to use all should come from Innoson or any other local manufacturer of automobiles in Nigeria.
If a woman cannot build the family or her family, how can she build a nation? So it starts with the family.
Well, if you talk of employment, unemployment in Nigeria is one of the indicators of socio-economic problems that we're having in the country. Let me just say it from 1960 to date.
National Discourse, weekdays on NCTV.
Knowledge is power, and so on the rich, meet inspiring, reputable individuals who've climbed up the ladder of success, but not without trials and tribulations and battles along the way. Listen to their stories, find out the role they play in our society, be inspired as we get out of them what our viewers truly need to know to reach those heights.
For Laka Suba, getting the answers that help you make sense of the journey.
Fascination made me want to study.
Who's next on the seat? Find out on The Reach, weeknights on NCTV.
Welcome to National Discourse. Fuel scarcity has been a problem in Nigeria from time immemorial.
Current affairs.
We have to fix our refineries.
Politics. It's interactive.
You can imagine if states, the federal government and state government, say, okay, all the vehicles we're going to use all should come from in Nosen or any other local manufacturer of automobiles in Nigeria.
If a woman cannot build the family or her family, how can she build a nation? So it starts with the family.
Well, if you talk of employment, unemployment in Nigeria is one of the indicators of socio-economic problems that we're having in the country. Let me just say it from 1960 to date.
National Discourse, weekdays on NCTV.
You welcome back from that short break. We are still in the studio discussing FG's approach to ending the killings by Fulani herdsmen. And our own barrister Tolu has been here. He's a lawyer for over 19 years in legal practice, and he's been here giving us his personal opinion on the issue. Moving on, we have some messages here which we intend to read out. This one here says, good morning. Our government should wake up to their first responsibility and ensure the safety of all Nigerians. God bless Nigeria. That's true, sir. Moving on to responsibility.
Yes. It is the primary responsibility of government to provide security. Security is the number one responsibility.
Security for all Nigerians.
For all Nigerians, irrespective of who is involved. And security will involve making sure that there's no breakdown of law and order, making sure that there's no killing of people, just like we have it in Benue State. And if people are killed, bring the perpetrators to book. Just show us one Fulani herdsman that has been arrested. Ever since this killing began, none has been arrested. Are we saying that Fulani people are spirits? Are they spirits that cannot be smoked out from their hideout or fished out from wherever they are and taken before the law to be given the appropriate punishment of committing mass murder? If somebody is not taking responsibility here, after this government, I will believe that some people will have to face international criminal court, because this is genocide.
Okay, sir, we have another message here. He said the first question I want to ask is, who empowers the Fulani herdsmen? Who gives them sophisticated weapons? And honestly, it was a question that we actually kept to deal with. 3 days ago, we had an issue with, I had a guest, and then I asked this question: where do they get their arms from? Where do they get their arms from? Because they move on with sophisticated weapons that as a Nigerian citizen, you're not allowed to move out with weapons. And then they move on with the higher. Now, where do they pass these equipments from, or these tools from, that the government is not aware?
I'm very sure that some people in government are very aware. You see, there's a very popular adage: when a crisis is on for more than 1 month,
yes, sir,
somebody highly placed in government is involved. You understand?
Okay.
I don't know, one of the American leaders that made the statement that when a crisis is I mean, a crisis like this one now is more than a month. Somebody highly placed in government is involved.
Okay.
This crisis has been on for a very long time. In this regime that is just a little above 2 years old, there has been more than 15 attack and killing by the Fulani herdsmen. No single person has been arrested
or prosecuted.
The impression I get here is that who are the owners of the cows that the Fulani herdsmen are going about with? Who are the owners? If we get the owners of the cow, if we profile the cows, get all the Fulani herdsmen, where did you get your cow from? What is the source of your cow? We will know the people who are harming these people. That is just my own.
Okay, sir. I have another message here. Say, I suggest the state government should encourage public/private investment in modern cattle rearing, venture to break the monopoly of this killer herdsmen, and also educate farmers on how to manage cattle ranch.
That is what we are saying.
Chief Joe Uduma.
That's what we are saying. Because if you look at what is happening in the whole land,
yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
That is having the highest number of cattle. Holland and Denmark. They have the highest number of cattle in the world, where cattle are more than the population. You cannot see a situation where cattle will go about destroying people's farm. They put them in ranches. People who are doing them are billionaires. They see it as business. They see it as business. Whoever wants to do cattle business should buy land, provide ranches, and do it. For example, the president of Nigeria has cows. He has cows in Daura. In fact, about 3 weeks ago when he went on holiday, he still went to see the cows.
But he doesn't let his cows
They don't go out because he see it as investment, and he has invested because the cows are camped and they were being fed in the camp there.
So are you suggesting every other cattle owner should take after Mr. President?
That is what I'm saying. Okay. That they should ban rearing of cows. Going about with cow should be brought to an end, just like the way it has been done in Ekiti State. In Ekiti State, you dare not go about with cow in the afternoon, and even in the night. If you go about with cow, if they see you, the next day you will have your day in court. You have your day in court. That is how it should be done.
So every state should take after Ekiti State.
Yes, Ekiti State is a model.
Without federal government interference.
If the federal government decide to abdicate their responsibility, the state government should do something. Because in this instance, federal government have refused to abdicate. They have abdicated their responsibility. They have refused to track the people who gave them gun. They have refused to even arrest a single person who is a herdsman. The only thing they do is to softly justify the action of herdsmen by saying, okay, now we want to stop the killing by providing them with colonies. Just like the way a governor in Nigeria said that have given money to Fulani herdsmen to stop killing people.
Wow.
That is software encouragement. That is encouragement of the Fulani herdsmen to continue to kill at will. We must bring this thing to an end because it is really affecting the unity of this country. We cannot be preaching unity where there is no justice. Somebody cannot just come from Sokoto and go to Benue and take over their land. And you think in Africa nobody will allow that kind of thing. So this one that able agriculture minister is saying, he should look for other alternatives. He should call Miyetti Allah. They should go and buy land and do ranches for their cattle. And federal government should ban Miyetti Allah. It should be declared as a terrorist organization, just like IPOB and Boko Haram, because there is no difference between Boko Haram and what the cattle raiders are doing, and they are under the protection of Miyetti Allah. They came on into the open and said, yes, we know them, they are our people. Even the secretary this morning was distinguishing between Miyetti Allah, that there's a different, another Miyetti Allah that is pro-government that agree with the law of Benue State. But the own Miyetti Allah do not agree. And they are saying that the Benue State governor should abrogate the law, as if the law was made because of them. Law is made for the people, for the good governance of Benue State. And I don't think how somebody can force a whole of Benue State to say that they should not pass a law to maintain peace and order in their community.
Okay, sir, I would want us to take another message. You say, I think no individual business should constitute problem to any person or persons. This from Nikki from Abuja.
Yes, that's what we have been saying. We have been saying that cattle rearing is a business, very lucrative one indeed, capital intensive. Somebody who has 10 cows now is having over ₦1 million because there is no cow that is no more than 100,000. except if it even the toddler, the small one, is more than that one's even higher than is costlier than the bigger ones. So they should put ranches. They should not allow their cow to go outside their gate. You can imagine when if even in Abuja, this federal capital, you see cows
on the highways.
Cows on the highway.
On the highways.
You see them on the highway as if there is no law in this country. Is it because the president is also a cattle rearer? Because that is the question we must ask ourselves. Why is he not taking decision?
I think, sir, that's your personal opinion.
Yes,
seriously.
that is my personal view. I ask a question: is the president? Why is the president not addressing this issue? Is it because he's also a cattle rearer? Does he have cattle with the Herdmen? That is the question I ask, and I deserve an answer as a Nigerian. I'm entitled to my opinion.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So what we are calling on the federal government to do is to solve this issue. Declare Mayati Allah as a terrorist group. They have done more than what IPOB did. And why are you still looking at them?
Okay, sir.
Now you want to create colony for them.
Okay, sir.
That's a tap in the back.
Yes, sir. As a senior lawyer, like I said, you've practiced for over 19 years.
So God be the glory.
Thank you, sir. Now, where does this put the justice system of Nigeria? Because whatever thing that is happening to us, the international community, they're actually watching to know what is happening. Where exactly does it put the judicial system or the justice system of Nigeria?
Well, let me just say this from the beginning. That issue of crime can be punished anywhere in the world.
Yes, sir.
Because killing of a people is a crime against humanity. If the present occupants of our government houses now refuse to do something, after their tenure, some people may take petition to International Criminal Court. You understand? And prosecute whoever is involved. Because where you have attacked a whole community, you are wiping a whole people.
That genocide.
Is genocide.
Yes, sir.
Which is punishable under preemptory norm of international criminal law. So now, under the Nigerian legal system, it is only when you arrest when you investigate somebody, you make an arrest and take him to court before he can have his court in his day. He can have his day in court. But now that the Fulani Herdmen, the federal government is telling us that they are spirits, they are untouchable. Because I don't believe that they don't know them. With sophisticated exercise we have in this country, with the director of military intelligence we have in this country, with secret police, the Nigerian police, the state CIDs we have in this country, they know who are the Herdmen. They know who are the killers among them. And they know the sponsors among them. Some days ago, one of the leaders in Benue accused the former vice president, Atiku Abubakar, as the chairman of Fulani Herdmen. Another essay to the president accused former Goodluck Jonathan that is a patron to Mayeti Allah, that they are the people. If they know them, they should arrest these people, call them to question, let them give what the source of all this violence. Because the Fulani men that I used to know in those days are only going about with sticks.
Yes.
The Fulani Herdmen of today, 2018, 2017, this millennium, are going about with AK-47 and AK-49.
Now, according to their chairman, 3 days ago, the Mayati Allah, he came up and said the only thing they move about with is their knives and then their stick. And these two tools are used to protect the lives of their cattle.
Yes, they are meant to protect the lives of the cattle, but you discover that even when you see the people that were killed, if you see the pictures, you see that they were macheted.
Yes.
With knives. Some of them are killed with guns, some are macheted, mercilessly killed. Even you see the private part of somebody that was removed. You see a pregnant woman. You understand? It moves somebody to tears. By now, heads are supposed to be rolling in our security apparatus. But what do we have? We have an Inspector General of Police who did not even do his investigation, but only jumped to hasty conclusion that is a communal clash. Even though he has apologized to Nigerians, and we have accepted his apology that he made a mistake, which is a hasty conclusion, and he has now realized that it is a serious Fulani attack. As we talk now, is in Benue State.
Yes.
Try to solve the problem. But why must federal government send army to defenseless people in the southeast, and you now send police to people who are heavily armed, who are even more armed than the police in Benue State. This is double standard. This is double standard. And until federal government does something that is extraordinary about this Fulani men, there's no way Nigeria will not believe that they are conspirators with the Fulani men. Okay, it's just a matter of perception. They should change the perception of Nigerians. They should change my perception as a person that federal government is not part of this conspiracy, because they cannot tell us that they don't know the killers or the people. Look at what happened in Rivers State.
Sir, we actually take exception to that, and to term it your personal opinion, sir.
That's why I said to me, it's my personal opinion. Yes, everything sir. I said there is my personal opinion.
Yes, sir.
It's not, you are not forcing words into my mouth, and you are not speaking through my mouth.
Yes, sir.
It's my own personal opinion. And that is why, as a Nigerian, I am asking, that I am saying that if federal government does not do something extraordinary to bring this issue, to a level that will change the perspective of Nigerians, there's no way we will not believe that they are part of the problem.
Okay, sir. Now, sorry, we couldn't take some messages here. This one said, the federal government should not take themselves away from the fact that they are aware. Well, I put up a disclaimer to this, and this is a personal opinion too. So, in 1 minute, what do you think is the way forward apart from building colonies?
The way forward is for every person who wants to rear cattle to buy land and put up ranches. And another thing, federal government should profile all cattle that are moving around. For example, now if you see a Fulani man moving around, the police should just get the Fulani man, let him tell us the source of the cattle. We'll be able to know who are the owners. Because some of these big men are the owners of the cattle, and they give gun to the cattle rearers to protect the cattle. And in the process, you look at what they said. They said they stole their cattle, and that's why they kill a whole community. If your cattle is stolen, it can be recovered, but the person you have killed is gone forever. So you see the sense of justice.
Yes, sir.
It's very wrong.
Okay. Well, that brings us to the end of National Discourse this beautiful day. We have been in the studio with Barrister Tolu. Thank you very much, sir, for coming.
I really appreciate you.
We appreciate your energy.
I thank you very much for inviting me, at least for hearing my opinion.
Yes, sir. And truly, as you said, everything you said is your opinion and how it is in your mind as a legal practitioner for over 19 years and as a Nigerian too.
Nigeria have the right to freedom of
expression.
Yes, sir. To say what is in my mind.
Yes, sir.
Which I have just done.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you for coming, and then we plead with you next time we call upon you. Just help us and show up in the studio. And to Nigerians, we have heard his opinion about FG's move to build colonies to safeguard Fulani herdsmen. As a Nigerian, you can push up your opinion on our WhatsApp page, on our WhatsApp number on the screen. We will get your message, and then we'll push it out accordingly to the relevant authorities. And I still remain your host, Uche Uduma. Thank you for listening and joining us today. God bless you.
God bless Nigeria.
Welcome to National Discourse. Fuel scarcity has been a problem in Nigeria from time immemorial.
Current affairs.
We have to fix our refineries.
Politics. It's interactive.
You can imagine if states, the federal government and state government, say, okay, all the vehicles we're going to use all should come from Innocent or any other local manufacturer of automobiles in Nigeria.
If a woman cannot build the family or her family, how can she build a nation? So it starts with the family.
Well, if you talk of employment, unemployment in Nigeria is one of the indicators of socio-economic problems that we're having in the country. Let me just say it from 1960 to date.
National Discourse, weekdays on NCTV.
Передача Ивоби, великолепно. Удар поворотом и...
Knowledge is power, and so on the rich meet inspiring, reputable individuals who've climbed up the ladder of success, but not without trials and tribulations and battles along the way. Listen to their stories, find out the role they play in our society.